been waiting for you. I've been praying too. I've been praying to God to send me a girl just like you. A girl fresh off the street with a new world view, with a past that's as vast as the ocean blue, hanging on to a few empty scriptures and maybe a prayer or two, but I know I got you. You can keep running, but I'll remind you. I'll give you a little time, but you'll be back to what you used to do, and I'll keep using you. And at the end of the day, you'll be a worthless human soul, and God will regret He ever made you. Of course that's not what He thinks, but that's what I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you that He failed you, that you're going to hell too, that the nails that impel to prevail hell is just a tall tale, and this Jesus, man, He already failed you.
Oh God. God! I've been waiting for you. I've been praying too. I'm trying so hard to be patient, but this praying just doesn't get me through. I'm just hanging on to a few scriptures I heard, and I guess this prayer or two. I'm fighting so hard against the temptation to do the things that I used to do. It's so hard to let go of my past to restart my life brand new. I thought it would be easy once I gave my life to you, but I feel like if anything, it's only got worse. And I don't know what to do. I want so desperately to make my escape into the things that I used to use to get me through. But then I would be failing you. And this faith that I claim to have, well, what is that telling you? That the nails that impale to prevail hell, well, is that just a tall tale? I want so desperately for you to show me something. I want so desperately to believe in you.
Man, this is so much easier than I thought it would be. You see, up until recently, I put your downfall all on me, but it's only been a few short weeks, and I can tell those thoughts are starting to creep deep into your mind through your ears while you sleep. I whisper my sweet lies through my teeth and watch them breed uncertainty. Most certainly, you're just a worthless seed whose failed to sprout branches and grow into a tree. Your dead body will never produce fruit that your dead leaves, and it's because of me. When you look at that face in the mirror and hate it, it's because I control the you see. Keep comparing yourself to those magazines. Those cover girls are a much better version of the you'll never be. I'll tell you that I have to look to fit into this society. I'll fill you with anxiety. I won't stop whispering until you swallow the lies I feed. Oh, and by the way, I love watching you talk to God. Man, you don't even believe the words you speak.
These memories, I've tried so desperately to block them from my mind. I've tried to fight it and hide it deep inside, but I find that every time I've only blamed myself. Even though He's the one that came into my room that night. I don't understand this, God. I never asked for this life. Oh, how I prayed time after time after time. That your hand would just strike down from the sky and just take this man's life. I begged and I pleaded. I whispered and I screamed it. The prayer of a fed-up child. Granted. Weeping had endured for several nights, but joy came as that others were in mourning for this sick, twisted man. I had to sit through his funeral and pretend to be sad. I was 10 years old! How was I supposed to handle that? Drowning in my own guilt as the blood on my hands became too much to stand. What did I do? Too ashamed and afraid to even acknowledge your presence. I didn't know whether to blame you or to fall to my knees for repentance. 7 years without a word, not even a sentence. But you never reached out to me either. So I paid my sanity meter by the dime. Reaper.
Yeah, you kept reaching. You kept screaming. Your hand was always outstretched, but He never once listened to your pleading. Is that the kind of God you're seeking? Because He wasn't there to stop the bleeding. What kind of God will let you go through that? What kind of God will let you feel what you're feeling? Every God leaving you feeling empty. Is that what you're seeking? Keep screaming. Go ahead, keep screaming. There is no God above that ceiling. Believe me, there is no face behind those clouds. You can scream as loud as your voice will allow, but that pain will never go away. It's there to stay. He took away something that you can never replace. So you'll just give yourself away as if every different face could replace that space in your soul with something worth living for.
I just want something worth living for. Every morning I wake up and I hate this life more and more. I'm not the person I was created to be. Every morning I look in the mirror and I hate the face that I see. They took everything away from me. And I just let them. I gave myself away for free. Every morning it's so hard for me to drag myself from this bed. every morning I still get up. And I'll make it one more day. Every morning I tell myself that while there's still light in my eyes, I might still make a way. I'll hold on to nothing until it becomes something. Because someone told me that's called faith. And maybe one morning when I realize I'm not the person I was supposed to be, I'll finally take control of my life and be the me He created me to be. So you can keep trying, but you cannot touch me. You do not own me. I was created by the painter of the skies, the maker of the sun. When He grabbed the dust of this earth, shaped me, then breathed life into my body.
Yeah, He may have created you, but I shape you. I shape you to the you have become.
No, you don't. You do not control me. I know He holds me. He told me He would never let me go.
If that were true, then we're easy now. You're on this empty promises like the darkness seed that failed to grow.
I may be just a seed, but one day I'll grow into a tree. And the fruit that sprouts from these leaves is just a byproduct of a life destined to succeed.
And if that were true, then how can you keep doing the things you used to do? How can we keep turning back to the vices that you used to